The book of Revelation, chapter 4, verse 1, Revelation 4 and 1, Revelation, the fourth chapter, and the first verse, a door into heaven. Then I looked and, a door opened into heaven. The trumpet voice, the first voice in my vision called out, ascend and enter. I'll show you what happens next. I was caught up at once in deep worship, and a throne set in heaven with one seated on the throne, suffused in gem hues of amber and flame, with the nimbus of emerald. 24 thrones circled the throne, with 24 elders seated, white robe, gold crown. Lightning flash and thunder clash pulsed from the throne. 7 fire blazing torches fronted the throne. These are the sevenfold Spirit of God. Before the throne, it was like a clear crystal sea. Prowling around the throne were 4 animals, all eyes. Eyes to look ahead, eyes to look behind. The first animal like a lion, the second like an ox, the third with a human face, the fourth like an eagle in flight. The 4 animals were winged, each with 6 wings. They were all eyes, seeing around and within, and they chanted night and day, never taking a break. Holy, holy, holy is God our Master, sovereign, strong. The was, the is, the coming. Every time the angels gave glory and honor and thanks to the one seated on the throne, the age after age living one, the 24 elders, would fall prostrate before the one seated on the throne. They worshiped the age after age living one. They threw their crowns at the foot of the throne, chanting, worthy, O Master, yes, our God, take the glory, the honor, the power. You created it all. It was created because you wanted it. Revelation 5, the lion as a lamb. I saw a scroll in the right hand of the one seated on the throne. It was written on both sides, fastened with 7 seals. I also saw a powerful angel calling out in a voice like thunder. Is there anyone who can open the scroll, who can break its seals? There was no one in heaven, no one on earth, no one from the underworld able to break open the scroll and read it. I wept and wept and wept that no one was found able to open the scroll, able to read it. One of the elders said, don't weep. Look, the lion from tribe Judah, the root of David's tree, has conquered. He can open the scroll. He can rip through the 7 seals. So I looked, and there, surrounded by throne, animals, and elders, was a lamb, slaughtered but standing tall. 7 horns he had and 7 eyes, the 7 spirits of God sent into all the earth. He came to the one seated on the throne and took the scroll from his right hand. The moment he took the scroll, the 4 animals and 24 elders fell down and worshiped the Lamb. Each had a harp, each had a bowl, a gold bowl filled with incense, the prayers of God's holy people, and they sang a new song. Worthy, take the scroll, open its seals. Slain, paying in blood, you bought men and women, bought them back from all over the earth, brought them back for God. Then you made them a kingdom, priests for our God, priests, kings to rule over the earth. I looked again, I heard a company of angels around the throne, the animals and the elders, 10,000 times 10,000. Their number, 1,000 after 1,000 after 1,000 in full song. The slain lamb is worthy. Take the power, the wealth, the wisdom, the strength. Take the honor, the glory, the blessing. Then I heard every creature in heaven and earth and the underworld and sea join in, all voices in all places, singing to the one on the throne, to the Lamb, the blessing, the honor, the glory, the strength, for age after age after age. The 4 animals yelled out, oh yes. The elders fell to their knees and worshiped. Sounds like a Pentecostal worship service. Revelation 6, unsealing the scroll. I watched while the Lamb ripped off the first of the 7 seals. I heard one of the animals roar, come out. I looked and I saw a white horse. Its rider carried a bow and was given a victory garland. He rode off victorious, conquering right and left. When the Lamb ripped off the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd animal cry out, come out. Another horse appeared, this one red. Its rider was off to take peace from the earth, setting people at each other's throat, killing one another. He was given a huge sword. When he ripped off the 3rd seal, I heard the 3rd animal cry out, come out. I looked, a black horse. This time its rider carried a set of scales in his hand. I heard a message it seemed to issue from the 4 animals, a quart of wheat for a day's wages, or 3 quarts of barley, but don't lay even a finger on the oil and wine. When he ripped off the 4th seal, I heard the 4th animal cry out, come out. I looked, a colorless horse, sickly pale. Its rider was death, and hell was close on its heels. They were given power to destroy a fourth of the earth by war, famine, disease, and wild beasts. When he ripped off the 5th seal, I saw the souls of those killed because they had held firm in their witness to the word of God. They were gathered under the altar and cried out in loud prayers. How long, strong God, holy and true? How long before you step in and avenge our murders? Then each martyr was given a white robe and told to sit back and wait until the full number of martyrs was filled from among their servant companions and friends in the faith. I watched while he ripped off the 6th seal, a bone-jarring earthquake. Sun turned black as ink, moon all bloody, stars falling out the sky like figs shaken from a tree in a high wind. Sky snapped shut like a book, islands and mountains sliding this way and that. And then pandemonium, everyone and his dog running for cover, kings, princes, generals, rich and strong, along with every commoner, slave or free. They hid in mountain caves and rocky dens, calling out to the mountains and rocks, refuge, hide us from the one seated on the throne and the wrath of the Lamb. The great day of their wrath is come, and who can stand it? Revelation chapter 7, servants of God. I immediately saw four angels standing at the four corners of the earth, standing steady with a firm grip on the four winds, so no wind would blow on earth or sea, not even rustle a tree. Then I saw another angel rising from where the sun rose, carrying the seal of the living God. He thundered to the four angels assigned the task of hurting earth and sea. Don't hurt the earth, don't hurt the sea, don't so much as hurt a tree until I've sealed the servants of God on their foreheads. I heard the count of those who were sealed, 144,000. They were sealed out of every tribe of Israel. 12,000 sealed from Judah, 12,000 from Reuben, 12,000 from Gad, 12,000 from Asher, 12,000 from Naphtali, 12,000 from Manasseh, 12,000 from Simeon, 12,000 from Levi, 12,000 from Issachar, 12,000 from Zebulun, 12,000 from Joseph, 12,000 sealed from Benjamin. I looked again, I saw a huge crowd, too huge to count. Everyone was there, all nations and tribes, all races and languages. And they were standing dressed in white robes and waving palm branches, standing before the throne of the Lamb and heartily singing, salvation to our God on his throne, salvation to the Lamb. All who were standing around the throne, angels, elders, animals, fell on their faces before the throne and worshiped God, singing, oh yes, the blessing and glory and wisdom and thanksgiving, the honor and power and strength to our God forever and ever and ever. Oh yes. Just then one of the elders addressed me. Who are these dressed in white robes and where did they come from? Taken aback, I said, oh, sir, I have no idea, but you must know. Then he told me, these are those who come from the great tribulation, and they wash their robes, scrub them clean in the blood of the Lamb. That's why they're standing before God's throne. They serve him day and night in his temple. The one on the throne will pitch his tent there for them. No more hunger, no more thirst, no more scorching heat. The Lamb on the throne will shepherd them. He will lead them to springs of waters of life, and God will wipe away every last tear from their eyes. Revelation 8 sounds like a great time. When the Lamb ripped off the seventh seal, heaven fell quiet, complete silence for about half an hour, blowing the trumpets. I saw the seven angels who are always in readiness before God handed seven trumpets. Then another angel carrying a gold censer came and stood at the altar. He was given a great quantity of incense so that he could offer up the prayers of all the holy people of God on the golden altar before the throne. Smoke billowed up from the incense-laced prayers of the holy ones, rose before God from the hand of the angel. Then the angel filled the censer with fire from the altar and heaved it to earth. It set off thunders, voices, lightnings, and an earthquake. The seven angels with the trumpets got ready to blow them. At the first trumpet blast, hail and fire mixed with blood were dumped on earth. A third of the earth was scorched, a third of the trees and every blade of green grass burned to a crisp. The second angel trumpeted. It sounded like a huge mountain blazing with fire was flung into the sea. A third of the sea turned to blood, a third of the living creatures died, and a third of the ships sank. Third angel trumpeted. A huge star blazing like a torch fell from heaven, wiping out a third of the rivers and a third of the springs. The star's name was Wormwood. A third of the water turned bitter, and many people died from the poison water. The fourth angel trumpeted. A third of the sun, a third of the moon, a third of the stars were hit, blacked out by a third, both day and night, and 1/3 blackout. I looked hard. I heard a lone eagle flying through middle heaven, crying out ominously, doom, doom, doom to everyone left on the earth. There are three more angels about to blow their trumpets. Doom is on the way. Revelation chapter 9. The fifth angel trumpeted. I saw a star plummet from heaven to earth. The star was handed the key to the well of the abyss. He unlocked the well of the abyss. Smoke poured out of the well, billows and billows of smoke. Sun and air and blackout from smoke pouring out of the well. Then out of the smoke crawled locusts with the venom of scorpions. They were given their orders. Don't hurt the grass. Don't hurt anything green. Don't hurt a single tree. Only men and women. And then only those who lacked the seal of God on their foreheads. They were ordered to torture but not kill. Torture them for 5 months. The pain like a scorpion sting. When this happens, people are going to prefer death to torture. Look for ways to kill themselves, but they won't find a way. Death will have gone into hiding. The locusts looked like horses ready for war. They had gold crowns, human faces, women's hair, the teeth of lions, and iron breastplates. The sound of their wings was the sound of a horse-drawn chariot charging into battle. Their tails were equipped with stings like scorpion tails. With those tails, they were ordered to torture the human race for 5 months. They had a king over them, the king of the abyss. His name in Hebrew is Abaddon, in Greek, Apollyon, destroyer. The first doom is past, two dooms yet to come. The sixth angel trumpeted. I heard a voice speaking to the sixth angel from the horns of the golden altar before God. Let the four angels loose. The angels confined at the great river Euphrates. The four angels were untied and let loose. Four angels all prepared for the exact year, month, and day, and even hour when they were to kill a third of the human race. The number of the army of horsemen was twice 10,000 times 10,000. I heard the count and saw both horses and riders in my vision, fiery breastplates on the riders, lion heads on the horses, breathing out fire and smoke and brimstone. With these three weapons, fire and smoke and brimstone, they kill a third of the human race. The horses kill with their mouths and tails. Their serpent-like tails also had heads that wreak havoc. The remaining men and women who weren't killed by these weapons went on their merry way. They didn't change their way of life. They didn't quit worshiping demons. They didn't quit centering their lives around lumps of gold and silver and brass or hunks of stone and wood that couldn't see or hear or move. There wasn't a sign of a change of heart. They plunged right on in their murderous, occult, promiscuous, and thieving ways. Romans chapter 10. Revelation chapter 10. I saw another powerful angel come down out of heaven, wrapped in a cloud. There was a rainbow over his head. His face was sun radiant, his legs pillars of fire. He had a small book open in his hand. He placed his right foot on the sea and his left foot on the land. Then they called out thunderously, a lion roar. When he called out, the seven thunders called back. When the seven thunders spoke, I started to write it all down, but a voice out of heaven stopped me, saying, seal with silence the seven thunders. Don't write a word. Then the angel I saw astride sea and land lifted his right hand to heaven and swore by the living one forever and ever, who created heaven and everything in it, earth and everything in it, sea and everything in it. The time was up that when the seventh angel blew his trumpet, which he was about to do, the mystery of God, all the plans he had revealed to his servants, the prophets, would be completed. The voice out of heaven spoke to me again. Go take the book, held open in the hand of the angel, astride sea and earth. I went up to the angel and said, give me the little book. He said, take it, then eat it. It will taste like sweet like honey, but turn sour in your stomach. I took the little book from the angel's hand, and it was sweet as honey in my mouth, but when I swallowed, my stomach curdled. Then I was told, you must go back and prophesy again over many peoples and nations and languages and kings. Revelation 11, the two witnesses. I was given a stick for a measuring rod and told, get up and measure God's temple and altar and everyone worshiping in it. Exclude the outer court, don't measure it. It's been handed over to the non-Jewish outsiders. They'll desecrate the holy city for 42 months. Meanwhile, I'll provide my two witnesses dressed in sackcloth. They'll prophesy for 1,260 days. These are the two olive trees, the two lampstands, standing at attention before God on earth. If anyone tries to hurt them, a blast of fire from their mouths will incinerate them. They will burn them to a crisp, just like that. They'll have power to seal the sky so that it doesn't rain for the time of their prophesying. They'll have power to turn rivers and springs to blood, power to hit earth with any and every disaster as often as they want. When they've completed their witness, the beast from the abyss will emerge and fight them, conquer them, and kill them, leaving their corpses exposed on the street of the great city, spiritually called Sodom and Egypt, the same city where their master was crucified. For 3.5 days, they'll be there, exposed, prevented from getting a decent burial, stared at by the curious from all over the world. Those people would cheer at the spectacle, shouting, good riddance, and calling for a celebration. For these two prophets picked the conscience of all the people on earth and made it impossible for them to enjoy their sins. Then after 3.5 days, the living Spirit of God will enter them. They're on their feet, and all those gloating spectators will be scared to death. I heard a strong voice out of heaven calling, come up here. And up they went to heaven, wrapped in a cloud, their enemies watching it all. At that moment, there was a gigantic earthquake. 1/10 of the city fell to ruin. 7,000 perished in the earthquake. The rest frightened to the core of their being, frightened into giving honor to the God of heaven. The second doom is past, the third doom coming right on its heels. The last trumpet sounds. The seventh angel trumpeted. A crescendo of voices in heaven sang out, the kingdom of the world is now, the kingdom of our God and his Messiah. He will rule forever and ever. 24 elders seated before God on their thrones fell to their knees, worshiped and sang, we thank you, O God, sovereign strong, who is and who was. You took your great power, you took it over and reigned. The angry nations now get a taste of your anger. The time has come to judge the dead, to reward your servants, all prophets and saints, to reward small and great who fear your name and destroy the destroyers of earth. The doors of God's temple in heaven flew open, and the ark of his covenant was clearly seen, surrounded by flashes of lightning, loud shouts, peals of thunder, an earthquake, and a fierce hailstorm. This is the word of the Lord. Place that in the comment section. This is the word of the Lord. And make sure you follow, like,